Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're taking to the skies to explore the rich and fascinating history of Ireland's flag carrier, a true icon of the Emerald Isle, Aer Lingus. From its humble beginnings to its modern fleet, let us dive into the story of the airline that has connected Ireland with the world for nearly a century. Aer Lingus, which translates to Air Fleet in Irish, was founded on April 15, 1936. Just over a month later, on May 27th, it launched its very first flight. Picture this: a six-seater de Havilland 84 Dragon biplane, nicknamed Éola, which means eagle, flying from Baldonnel Airfield in Dublin to Bristol, England. That single aircraft and that one route were the seeds from which a global airline would grow. The company was initially registered as a private airline, but later that year, the Irish government passed the Air Navigation and Transport Act, making Aer Lingus the national airline. But for its first 3 decades, Aer Lingus was a relatively small, state-owned carrier primarily focused on connecting Ireland with the United Kingdom. However, the jet age brought new ambitions. In 1958, Aer Lingus took a giant leap across the Atlantic, launching its first transatlantic service from Shannon to New York City using 3 brand-new Lockheed Super Constellation aircraft. This was a pivotal moment, marking the airline's transformation into a key player on the transatlantic stage and opening up a vital link for Irish emigration and tourism. A few years later, in 1960, they welcomed their first jet aircraft, the Boeing 720, further solidifying their long-haul capabilities. The airline continued to evolve. In 1965, it introduced its iconic shamrock livery, a symbol that has become synonymous with Irish aviation ever since. The 1970s and 80s saw the introduction of the legendary Boeing 747 jumbo jet, which served the airline for 25 years, carrying millions of passengers between Ireland and the US. It was a symbol of pride and a testament to the airline's growth. However, like many airlines, Aer Lingus faced significant financial challenges, particularly in the early 2000s following the September 11th attacks. The company underwent a major restructuring, shifting from a traditional full-service model to a lower-cost value carrier approach to stay competitive. This new direction was spearheaded by a new leader. In 2009, Christoph Müller was appointed as CEO. He was known as a turnaround specialist, and he implemented a program called Project Greenfield, which involved significant cost-cutting measures, including job reductions and changes to staff work practices. While controversial, these tough decisions were credited with returning the airline to profitability and setting it on a more stable financial footing for the future. In 2011, Aer Lingus celebrated a major milestone, its 75th anniversary. To mark the occasion, they repainted one of their Airbus A320 South in the classic 1960s livery, a beautiful nod to its heritage. This celebration was a moment to reflect on how far the airline had come from that single Dragon aircraft in 1936. It had survived economic downturns, fierce competition, and a changing industry to become a beloved national institution. Leadership changes continued to shape the airline. After Christoph Muller's successful tenure, Stephen Kavanagh took over as CEO in 2015. This was a significant year for another reason. The International Airlines Group, or IAG, the parent company of British Airways, Iberia, and Vueling, completed its acquisition of Aer Lingus. While no longer state-owned, the deal promised significant benefits, including access to IAG's global network, joint purchasing power, and new growth opportunities, particularly on transatlantic routes. Under IAG ownership, Aer Lingus has maintained its distinct brand and identity while leveraging the strengths of being part of a larger aviation group. Sean Doyle later became CEO in 2019 before Lynn Embleton took the helm in 2021, guiding the airline through the unprecedented challenges of the global pandemic and its subsequent recovery. So, what is the Aer Lingus business model today? It's a unique hybrid. On its short-haul European routes, it competes directly with low-cost carriers like Ryanair, offering competitive fares with options to add extras like checked baggage and seat selection. However, on its long-haul transatlantic routes, it offers a more traditional full-service product, including complimentary meals, drinks, and in-flight entertainment, positioning itself as a high-value carrier. This dual strategy allows it to capture a broad segment of the market. Its main hubs are Dublin and Cork airports, with Dublin, in particular, being a key transatlantic gateway, thanks to its U.S. pre-clearance facility, which allows passengers to clear U.S. customs and immigration in Ireland, saving them time upon arrival in the States. The airline's fleet has undergone a dramatic transformation over the years. Gone are the Constellations and 747s, replaced by a modern, fuel-efficient fleet of Airbus aircraft for its short-haul network across Europe. Aer Lingus primarily uses the Airbus A320 family for long-haul flights. The backbone of the fleet is the Airbus A330. More recently, the airline has invested heavily in the new generation Airbus A321neo LR, or long-range. This single-aisle aircraft is a game-changer, allowing Aer Lingus to operate long-haul routes to the U.S. East Coast and Canada with greater efficiency and flexibility than a wide-body jet, opening up new potential city pairs. In 2019, Aer Lingus unveiled a refreshed brand and livery. While the beloved shamrock remains the centerpiece, it was modernized and incorporated into a new, streamlined design. The new look features a teal-dominated fuselage with a dark green tail and wingtips, reflecting a more contemporary and confident identity for the airline as it entered a new decade of growth under IAG ownership. On board, the experience varies by route. On European flights, you'll find a comfortable cabin with a buy-on-board service for snacks and drinks. On transatlantic flights, passengers in economy class receive a complimentary meal service and can enjoy a wide selection of movies, TV shows, and music on their personal seatback screens. Business class offers a premium experience with lie-flat beds, gourmet dining, and lounge access, making it a popular choice for both business and leisure travelers looking for extra comfort. Finally, we must acknowledge that aviation, like any complex industry, is not without its risks. Aer Lingus has maintained an excellent safety record throughout its modern history. However, its most significant and tragic accident occurred on March 24, 1968. Aer Lingus Flight 712A Vickers Viscount, named St. Phelim, crashed into the sea off the coast of Tusker Rock, Ireland, while flying from Cork to London. All 61 passengers and crew were lost. The initial investigation was inconclusive, but a renewed inquiry in the late 1990s suggested that a possible structural failure of the aircraft, rather than other theories like a missile strike, was the most likely cause. The Tusker Rock tragedy remains a somber chapter in Irish aviation history and is remembered with memorials to the victims. From a single biplane to a modern Airbus fleet connecting continents, the story of Aer Lingus is a story of Irish ambition, resilience, and connection. It has been a constant in the lives of millions, flying them home for Christmas, taking them on new adventures, and serving as a proud symbol of Ireland on the world stage. Thanks so much for watching. What are your memories of flying with Aer Lingus? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey through aviation history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories from the world of flight. See you next time.